Hi, this is Chef Skip. Now we're going to be talking about Chapter 6, Level 2, Vegetables. You'll probably spend more time working with vegetables than any other item in the kitchen. We use a lot of them and they need a lot of prep. A vegetable is an edible herb-like plant. The parts of vegetables that people eat include leaves, fruit, stems, roots, tubers, seeds, and flowers. Vegetables can be purchased whole or cut in fresh, frozen, canned, and dried forms. Unlike fruits, vegetables are eaten cooked more often than raw. Vegetables are often categorized by their botanical origins or by their edible parts. They may be classified as a flower, fruit, green leafy, seed, root, tuber, or a stem vegetable. Flower vegetables include broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage. Although all of these are part of the cabbage or the cruciferous family, these vegetables have generated a lot of interest in the health world due to their cancer-fighting compounds. When we think of cooking these products, we focus on the head of the vegetable. When purchasing these vegetables, avoid any with rubbery texture or dark decay spots. Broccoli. Broccoli has a deep green color, tiny clustered buds or florets, and a thick, crisp leaf. Choose broccoli that has a dark green color and tight florets. Do not select broccoli with discolored leaves or florets. Broccoli can be served raw or cooked and is often used in salads and crudités. Crudités is a traditional French appetizer with raw, whole, or sliced vegetables, often including a dipping sauce or a vinaigrette. To ensure even cooking times for the broccoli florets and broccoli stems, cut the stems lengthwise and cook with heads attached. Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts grow on a tall, thick stalk and resemble miniature cabbages. Flavors tend to be milder than cabbage, and they are usually steamed or roasted. Look for tight heads that are heavy and have a lively green color. Cabbage. Cabbage has thick, waxy leaves that lay tight together and form large round heads. Some varieties have curly leaves and looser form. Flavors run from sweet to mild to strong. Cabbage can be eaten raw, but is also found in savory dishes. Cabbage is a very versatile vegetable and works well with several cooking methods. Look for heads with vibrant colors that are tightly packed with firm cores. Cabbage can be used in coleslaw, stir fry, and wraps. Cauliflower. Cauliflower is available in several colors, ranging from white to green to purple. It has hardy stalks and florets, with leaves at its base. The entire plant is edible. Look for cauliflower that is firm with tight clusters of florets. Choose heads that have a bright white color and bright green leaves. Cauliflower can be served raw and, like broccoli, can be served as crudités. It can also be sliced or cooked whole and works well with several cooking methods. Fruit vegetables. Fruit vegetables include avocados, cucumbers, eggplants, peppers, squash, and tomatoes. These products come from flowering plants and have seeds, which botanically speaking make them fruits. But when we think of how we prepare and use them from a culinary perspective, we consider them to be vegetables. Avocados. There are several varieties of avocado, ranging in color from bright green to black, with smooth to very leathery skin. Avocados have a very rich and buttery flavor, and they have a very smooth, dense texture. Avocados are usually served with citrus juice to help prevent the flesh from turning brown. Select avocados that are free of blemishes or mold. Ripe avocado flesh should give slightly, but not be too soft. Bell peppers. Bell peppers or sweet peppers are named for their shape. All varieties start out green, but as they ripen, their colors change to red, yellow, orange, purple, or cream, depending on the variety. Ripe green peppers are not as sweet as peppers with other colors. We use sweet peppers raw in salads and crudités or cooked in a variety of ways. When selecting bell peppers, look for peppers with good color and are free of blemishes or soft spots. Chili peppers. Chili peppers are in the same family as bell peppers. However, they are smaller and can be very hot. Like bell peppers, chili peppers are available in a wide range of colors, from bright red to yellow to black, Flavors can run from pleasantly mild to extraordinarily hot. Most of the hot, spicy flavor is in the seeds and in the white pith membrane. Care should be taken when handling chili peppers. Wash hands often or wear gloves when handling. Once a chili pepper has been seeded and the pith is removed, it is not as hot as whole peppers. When selecting chili peppers, look for peppers with good color that are free of blemishes or soft spots. Cucumbers have a thin skin, which is sometimes waxed to prevent moisture loss, and an inner core of seeds. Cucumbers have a mild flavor and are excellent in salads and served as crudités. Purchase cucumbers that are firm and free of soft spots. Eggplants come in several different varieties and range in size from long and thin to short and plump. They also range in color from white to violet to purple to black. Eggplants are glossy, firm vegetables that are very versatile and can be used with several different cooking methods. Look for eggplants with glossy, smooth skin free of blemishes or soft spots. Tomatoes are grown in hundreds of varieties and come in several different colors, including red, yellow, and purple. Flavors run from sweet to slightly acidic. Tomatoes are best when ripened on the vine. Tomatoes are very versatile and are very popular in salads as well as other dishes. Tomatoes may be stewed, fried, grilled, baked, or made into a sauce or juice. Choose tomatoes that have a firm, smooth skin and are free of blemishes. Summer squash. Unlike winter squash, summer squash, like zucchini and yellow squash, is smaller, with thin skin and small soft seeds that are eaten. The flavor of a summer squash is very mild, and it can easily take on flavors of other foods. Summer squash is a very versatile vegetable and works well with most cooking methods. In casseroles or baked goods or sautéed, to name a few. It is equally good in salads and crudités. Look for squash with bright colors, smooth skin, and no soft spots. Winter squash. Winter squash have hard, tough outer shells and large seeds. They range in size from large pumpkins to spaghetti to butternut to smaller acorn squash. They range in flavor from mild to sweet, and some can be bitter. Many have a nutty flavor when roasted. They are very versatile and can be used in many different cooking methods. For example, oven cooking, microwave cooking, or boiling. Look for squash with firm skin that's free of soft spots. Mustard greens and collard greens. Both mustard greens and collard greens have a bitter, strong flavor. The leaves are usually dark green and have ruffled edges. Collard greens and mustard greens are fairly versatile and can be used with a number of cooking methods. Look for the leaves to be good in color and firm stems that are not wilted. They need to be cooked longer than spinach or chard. Mustard greens and collard greens. Both mustard greens and collard greens have a bitter, strong flavor. The leaves are usually dark green and have ruffled edges. Collard greens and mustard greens are fairly versatile and can be used in a number of cooking methods. Look for leaves with good color, firm stems that are not wilted, and they need to be cooked longer than spinach or chard. Spinach is one of the most adaptable greens in the kitchen. It has dark green leaves and can be smooth or curly. It can be eaten raw in salads, but it's also used in soups and casseroles. Choose spinach that has good color and the leaves are crisp and tender. Swiss chard is actually a type of beet that does not have a root. Swiss chard produces wide, dark green leaves with brightly colored stalks from yellow to red. The flavor of Swiss chard is full and similar to spinach. Swiss chard can be used with multiple cooking methods. Select chard with fresh green leaves and avoid chard with wilted or discolored leaves. Not too long ago, a little iceberg lettuce with a mayonnaise dressing was considered a dinner salad. Consumers today are interested in more flavorful and nutritious salad greens. Variety lettuce mixes have gained popularity in recent years, both in restaurants and grocery stores. Spring greens, field mixes, and other terms are used to describe a mix of assorted salad greens. Some greens are lettuces, some are related to cabbage, others, like radicchio, are chicory. Even leafy herbs like cilantro find their way into flavorful salads. Spring greens are the new leaves of leafy vegetables that were harvested previous season. Some brassica, from the cabbage family, and chicories are strong enough to survive the winter. When they begin to set up for new growth in March and early April, the leaves are tender, bright, and flavorful. They are often found in fresh spring salads. Field mixes may be more tender and can be planted in the spring for harvest a few weeks later. Mesclun mix is a seed blend that includes a variety of leafy lettuce and other greens. Other single greens may be added to blends in harvest. These assorted leaves may have a bold flavor like arugula. It could be peppery like watercress, savory like chive, or tangy like sorrel. Others are milder like romaine or frisee. Combine these mixes with nuts, dried fruit, and goat cheese. When served with a bread, they make a nutritious meal. Or toss them in with ripe tomatoes, olive oil, and wine vinegar, balsamic vinegar, or lemon juice, and they make a colorful and interesting side dish. Seed vegetables. Seed vegetables include corn, peas, and beans in this category. The edible portions of the vegetable, the kernels and peas, are actually seeds. Beans. Fresh beans include green beans, yellow wax beans. These beans are small and are most often eaten while still in the pod. Lima beans and fava beans are examples of beans that are shelled or removed from the pod. They are larger and more firm than green beans. Fresh beans are very versatile in the kitchen and stand up well with heartier cooking methods. Dried shelled beans usually need to be soaked or boiled before preparation in recipes. Beans are often very nutritious and work well in salads, soups, and side dishes. When choosing fresh beans, look for pods that have a good color and no blemishes. Fresh sweet corn comes in several varieties, including white, yellow, and bicolored varieties. Flavors run from very sweet to more full-flavored. Sweet corn should be used very soon after it is picked. If it is not, the sugars will begin to turn to starch, making the corn less sweet and much chewier. Select ears that are firm, free of mold, or brown discolorations. Peas. Most common peas are green garden peas. They have a sweet, delicate flavor. Peas are a colorful addition to salads, soups, as well as other dishes. Some peas can be eaten in their pods. Snow peas and sugar snap peas are often used in Asian cooking and have a firm skin and a light flavor. Root vegetables and tubers. Root vegetables and tubers are grouped together because of the way they are grown, either all the way underground or partly underground. Root vegetables are rich in sugars, starches, vitamins, and minerals. These plants exist both above and below ground. A single root extends into the ground and provides nutrients to the leafy part of the vegetable that is above the ground. Some common root vegetables are carrots, beets, radishes, turnips, and onions. Tuber vegetables include potatoes, sweet potatoes, and yams. Tubers are enlarged, bulbous roots capable of generating a new plant. They are actually fat, underground stems. Beets. Beet colors range from red to yellow to white. The flavor of beets is somewhat earthy because of the chemical called geosmin. Cooks prefer smaller beets to larger ones for two reasons. Their appearance is better and they cook faster with larger beets. Beets are popular in salads and soups and can be served in a side dish. Pickled beets add spice to many dishes. Beets can be steamed, baked, or roasted. Purchase beets that are small to medium size with smooth skins. Carrots. Carrots contain a large amount of keratin, a pigment easily converted to vitamin A. Carrots can be served raw, as crudités, as a garnish, or as an ingredient in a salad. Cooked carrots make excellent side dishes and can be used in soups and sauces. Carrots can be used in desserts, both cooked and raw. Carrots are fundamental to mirepoix. Select carrots that have good color and are free of blemishes. Leeks. Leeks resemble large green onions. They have the mildest flavor in the onion family. They are best when baked or grilled, but are often used in stocks, sauces, and soups. Choose leeks that have bright colored tops and are not wilted or discolored. Onions. All varieties of onions have a strong flavor and aroma and are used to season other foods. Common or bulb onions like white, yellow, Vidalia, or red are best when sliced or chopped for use in stuffing or casseroles. Small onions like pearl onions are best for cooking and boiling with roast and stews. They can also be prepared whole and served as a side dish. Onions are fundamental to mirepoix. Select onions that are dry and have not begun to sprout. Potatoes. Potatoes are available in many varieties, with different flavors, sizes, textures, and colors. Moist potatoes are better suited to boiling, while drier potatoes are better for baking. Choose potatoes that are firm, free of eyes, and are well shaped. Radishes. Radishes are small, round roots that are available in many colors, from deep red to pale cream. Their crisp texture and peppery flavor make them a flavorful, colorful addition to salads. They can be cut decoratively as a garnish or served with crudités with vegetable dip. Select radishes that are firm and have a bright red color. Scallions and shallots. Green onions or scallions are actually common onions that are pulled before they are mature. The slender dark green leaves of the onions are attached to the thick white bulb. Shallots are shaped like small bulb onions and separated into small cloves when broken apart. The milder flavor of green onions and shallots makes them great for addition to salads, as well as sauces and meat dishes. Select green onions that have bright green tops and are not wilted. Select shallots just like you would a bulb onion. Sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes and potatoes come from different botanical families. Both are root tubers. The sweet potato's color comes from a beta-carotene, which is a form of vitamin A. Colors can range from bright orange to light yellow. Sweet potatoes' sweet flavor makes them very versatile in the kitchen, and they are best when baked, boiled, or pureed for soups. Select sweet potatoes that are firm, free of eyes, and well shaped. Turnips and rutabagas. Like radishes, turnips have a hot peppery flavor when eaten raw and are best when roasted. They are larger than radishes and usually have a rose-colored skin and a bright white flesh. Turnips are good when baked, but can be boiled, steamed, or mashed. Choose turnips that are small to medium sized with smooth skin and a weighty feel. Rutabagas are root vegetables that originate as a cross between the cabbage and the turnip. They are prepared in a variety of ways, and the leaves can be eaten as a leaf vegetable. Yams. Yams are often confused with sweet potatoes. Their color can range from deep red to creamy white. Yams have more natural sugar and moisture than sweet potatoes. They can be substituted for sweet potatoes in most recipes. Stem vegetables. Stem vegetables include asparagus, celery, artichokes, mushrooms. In this category, the vegetables that we eat are the stems of plants. Artichokes. Artichokes are the immature flowers of a thistle plant. Whole artichokes can be simmered, steamed, or microwaved. Often they are served with lemon juice, garlic butter, or hollandaise sauce. The artichoke heart may be cooked separately and served in salads or as a side dish. Young, tender, globe artichokes can be cooked whole. Mature artichokes need to have the fuzzy center known as the choke removed first. Quality artichokes will have tightly closed outer leaves and be medium to dark green in color. They should not be soft when squeezed. Asparagus, which can be green or white, has tender stalks and tips. The thicker the stalk, the older and the more woody the stem. Asparagus can be steamed, roasted, or sautéed. Choose stalks with dry, tight tips and avoid limp or wilted stalks. Celery. Celery stalks are commonly used in salads, soups, and stews. The cut stalks can be served as crudités with vegetable dip. Celery is a fundamental ingredient in mirepoix. Choose straight, rigid stalks with fresh leaves. Avoid pithy, woody, or limp stalks. Mushrooms. Fungi are a large group of plants ranging from single-cell organisms to giant mushrooms. Mushrooms are a family of fungi, many of which are edible. Some examples include button, morel, portobello, cremini, inodaki, truffles, shiitake. The flavor of mushrooms ranges from delicate and fruity to pungent and garlicky. Mushrooms come in many shapes, sizes, and colors. They are served raw in salads and are also used in a variety of sauces, soups, and other recipes. Choose mushrooms that are clean, well-shaped, and avoid mushrooms with dirt and spots. Purchasing vegetables. Improved shipping methods and new ways of farming have made most produce available year-round. The use of hydroponic farming is popular. In hydroponic farming, vegetables are grown indoors year-round under regulated temperatures and light in nutrient-enriched water. To reduce costs and promote freshness, some restaurants grow their own fresh vegetables on premise. Some vegetables such as spinach, potatoes, and broccoli are available all year. The quality, degree of ripeness, and price vary with the season. Others such as asparagus, summer squashes, tomatoes, and green beans have a specific growing season. Knowing the growing season for a particular vegetable is important. As with fruit, during their growing seasons, vegetables are plentiful, the quality is higher, and the prices are usually lower. Some operations have seasonal menus that are based on what is fresh and locally available. Many guests today have shown an interest in eating local produce and supporting the restaurants that serve it. The same factors that could affect the purchasing decisions that operations make for fruit apply for vegetables. Quality grades. The same quality grades that the USDA assigns to fruit apply to vegetables as well. Fresh vegetables are graded before shipping. USDA grades from highest to lowest for fresh vegetables include US Extra Fancy, US Fancy, US Number 1, US Number 2, and US Number 3. Canned products rated US Grade A Fancy have the highest quality among canned goods. Storing vegetables. All produce must be stored properly. Roots and tubers should be stored dry and unpeeled in a cool, dark area. Many of the other ripe vegetables can be stored at 41 degrees Fahrenheit or lower, but not all will be stored at these temperatures. For example, potatoes should never be stored in a refrigerator because the low temperature of the refrigerator converts the starch into sugars. Rather, they should be stored in a cool, dark place. Remember, if possible, vegetables should be stored separately in one refrigerator and fruit in another refrigerator. As with some fruit, certain vegetables emit ethane gas, which causes fruit to ripen. Most vegetables need to be kept dry because excess moisture causes produce to spoil quickly. For this reason, produce should not be peeled, washed, or trimmed until just before it's used. For example, outer leaves on lettuce should be left on the head, and carrots should be unpeeled. Leafy tops on root vegetables like beets, turnips, carrots, and radishes should be removed and either discarded or used immediately. These tops can be used for stocks because they contain flavor and nutrients. The leaves on these green vegetables absorb nutrients from the root and increase moisture loss. Vegetables that need to ripen, such as tomatoes and avocados, should be stored at room temperature, 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Once produce is ripe, refrigerate it immediately or it will become overripe. Even with proper storage, most food service operations do not keep produce for more than 4 days. Some vegetables such as onions and beets have a longer shelf life, but most restaurants limit the storage of these items to 3 weeks. Green vegetables must be placed carefully in a refrigerator. A refrigerator has cold and warm spots, and vegetables can be sensitive to temperature variations of a few degrees, so it is important to know the temperature in your refrigerator. Preparing vegetables. Vegetables must be properly prepared before they are cooked. Preliminary preparations might include cleaning, peeling, slicing, dicing, chopping, and mincing. Cleaning. All fresh vegetables, even if they were peeled before cutting, must be cleaned thoroughly. Washing removes surface dirt as well as bacteria and other contaminants. Leafy vegetables contain sand and dirt and even bugs. Celery and leeks are always dirty at the root. To clean vegetables, run them under water that is a little warmer than the produce. When cleaning leafy greens such as lettuce and spinach, remove the outer leaves and pull the lettuce and spinach completely apart and rinse thoroughly. As with fruit, special solutions are available for cleaning vegetables. Wash vegetables as close to preparation time as possible. When cutting vegetables, the cutting surface should be at a comfortable height so that the elbows are in a natural position. It is best to set up a cutting station with one container to hold the peelings, another container to hold the finished cut vegetables, and a container to hold your usable product. This allows you to safely cut on a clear cutting board. The cutting board should be large enough to accommodate piles of chopped material while the cook is still chopping. It should be securely in place and not move as the cook chops. Place an approved rubber mat underneath the cutting board or use one with a slip-resistant surface on the bottom that is anchored to the counter. It is best practice to use different colored cutting boards for meat, fish, poultry, and produce to minimize the potential for cross-contamination. Make sure the vegetables do not touch surfaces exposed to raw meat, seafood, or poultry. Dicing. Dicing is cutting a product into cubes with a chef's knife. Normally, dicing refers to about half-inch cube, the same size as dice. This is a common technique for use in vegetables. Mincing is a fine chop made by using the chef's knife or a mezzaluna, a knife consisting of a single or double blade with a handle on each end. The cut is commonly used on smaller foods such as garlic, fresh herbs, and ginger. Slicing celery. Chop off the ends and quickly string the stalks, removing the major strings using a peeler if necessary. Place the stalk curved side up, similar to the letter U, and use the tip of the knife to cut the stalk into strips. Once in strips, collect the strips together and cut them across them, using the rocking motion of the blade. The free hand can hold the celery. Keep the fingertips tucked back and protect them from the blade. The knuckles can help guide the size of the chop. Go very slowly at first, so that your guiding hand does not come in contact with the sharp edge of the knife. Mincing garlic. Number 1, separate the garlic cloves by pressing down on the head of garlic and pushing them apart. Number 2, loosen the skin from each clove by placing a clove on the cutting board, placing the flat side of the blade knife on top, and hitting the blade with your fist or the heel of your hand. Number 3, using a knife, peel off the skin and remove the root end and any brown spots. Mince the cloves using the rocking motion. Note, sprinkling the garlic clove with a dash of salt before mincing will allow the salt to absorb a little bit of the liquid, so the garlic will not stick to the knife and will be easy to mince. Dicing vegetables. Determine the size of the cube that is needed. 2, prepare the vegetable by washing and peeling. 3, trim the vegetable so that the sides are straight and at right angles. It is often helpful to cut vegetables in half first so that they will be working with a flat surface. 4, cut into panels. Before something can be diced, it needs to be cut into logs or sticks, such as julienne. Always begin by cutting off one side to make it flat. Next, make a rectangular slice or panels. 5, cut into logs. Stack a number of the rectangles or panels on top of each other, then slice lengthwise, making uniform logs or sticks. 6, line up the logs or sticks and cut across them, creating perfect cubes. Cooking vegetables. Prepare vegetables as close to actual cooking time as possible. This will ensure vegetables' freshness and add to the overall quality and flavor of the finished dish. There are some other factors essential in producing well-cooked vegetables. Purchase vegetables that are at the peak of quality. Maintain proper storage and handling standards. Select a cooking process that is best suited for the vegetable. Vegetables must be cooked in a way that protects their texture, flavor, color, and nutrients. Overcooking vegetables will reduce their quality, nutrient value, and appearance. Cooking methods. Maintaining the quality and flavor of the vegetable depends on both the type of vegetable and the cooking method used. There are many cooking methods for vegetables: boiling, blanching, parboiling, steaming, microwaving, roasting and baking, sautéing and stir-frying, pan frying, deep frying, grilling, stewing and braising, sous vide, and pureeing. Baking: carrots, eggplant, mushrooms, onions, potatoes, squash, and tomatoes. Boiling: dried beans and legumes, cabbage, carrots, corn on the cob, potatoes. Braising: cabbage, celery, mushrooms, potatoes, squash, zucchini. Broiling: eggplant, mushrooms, onions, tomatoes. Deep frying: Brussels sprouts, carrots, cauliflower, eggplant, potatoes, squash, zucchini. Steaming: artichokes, green beans, beets, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, carrots, cauliflower, celery, onions, and potatoes. Vegetable color. Cooks use both appearance and texture to test whether or not a vegetable is properly cooked. Green vegetables show a visible difference from one stage to a doneness to another. White and orange vegetables show very little change in their color, so cooks check the texture to determine the doneness. Red. Beets, red cabbage, but not tomatoes, turn red when cooked with acid. Turn blue or blue-green when cooked with alkali. Turn greenish-blue, faded when overcooked. Contain anthocyanins that respond to pH changes. Green: asparagus, green beans, lima beans, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, peas, spinach, okra, green peppers, artichokes. Turn olive green when cooked with acid. Turn bright green when cooked with alkali. Turn olive green when overcooked and contain chlorophyll, which responds to pH changes. Yellow and orange: carrots, tomatoes, rutabagas, sweet potatoes, squash, corn. Little change when cooked with acid, little change when cooked with alkali. Fades slightly when overcooked. Contains beta-carotene, which does not respond to pH changes. Boiling is best for hard, starchy vegetables such as corn, potatoes. You can blanch vegetables very quickly by partially cooking them in hot water or oil and then shocking them by plunging them into ice water or cold running water in order to halt the cooking process. This cooking method has some important effects. It makes the skin easy to remove. It sets the color of the vegetables that are served cold. It eliminates or reduces strong flavors, and is the first step in another cooking method. Parboiling, like blanching, partially cooks vegetables in boiling water. Steaming is an excellent way to prepare vegetables for two-order service. It is the best way to retain vitamins and minerals because the vegetables are cooked gently in vapor or a steam bath, not in direct contact with water. Microwaves cause food molecules to vibrate, and the friction from the vibration generates heat. This causes the food's natural liquids to steam the item. Cook vegetables in a microwave-safe container covered in a small amount of liquid, or leave the vegetables whole with the skin or peel intact, and steam it when its own moisture. Steaming vegetables: bring the liquid to a full boil and add the seasonings and aromatics. Add the vegetables to the steamer in a single layer. Steam the vegetables to the desired doneness. Serve the vegetables or plunge them in ice water bath and then refresh and hold. Microwave vegetables: place the vegetables in a suitable dish or plate and cover it. Place it in the microwave oven and cook it to the desired doneness. Serve the vegetables or refresh and hold. Roasting and baking are two very popular ways to cook vegetables. Roast or bake vegetables in a hot or moderate oven. Leave them whole or cut them into large pieces without adding liquid. This cooking method is best suited to vegetables with thick skins that protect the interior from drying or scorching, such as winter squash, potatoes, and eggplant. While thick-skinned vegetables are well suited for roasting, vegetables with a little or no skin are best when sautéed. Sautéing gives vegetables a crisp texture. Some vegetables are suitable for sautéing in their raw state, such as mushrooms and onions. Partially cooked denser vegetables, such as green beans, carrots, before they are sautéed. Roasting vegetables: place the vegetables onto a preheated hot pan or into a hot or moderate oven. Roast them to the desired doneness. Serve, hold, or use them in a secondary technique. Sautéing or stir-frying vegetables: heat pan, add cooking medium, add vegetables, sauté vegetables, keep vegetables in motion, add aromatic seasoning or glaze, heat thoroughly, and serve immediately. Glazing is a finishing technique that gives vegetables a glossy appearance. Add a small amount of honey, sugar, or maple syrup to the vegetables to coat it, and give it a sheen as the vegetable reheats. For example, cooks often glaze small pearl onions and baby carrots. Unlike the cooking methods covered so far, cooks often coat pan-fried vegetables with breading or batter. The amount of oil used in pan frying is greater than that for sautéing. Cook batter-dipped vegetables in oil or butter until the exteriors are lightly browned and crisp. As a pan frying, coat vegetables to be deep fried with breading or batter just before cooking. Instead of a shallow pan, use a deep fryer or large heavy stock pot. Blanch slow cooking vegetables such as broccoli and cauliflower before they are deep fried to speed the cooking process. Glazing vegetables: bring the liquid to a simmer and season or flavor as the recipe instructs. Sweat or smother the vegetables and any other aromatics in the cooking fat or in the cooking liquid if desired. Pour a ladle enough cooking liquid into the pan to properly cook the vegetables. Cover the pan and cook until the vegetables are done. If there is too much liquid left from glazing, remove the vegetables and drain some of the liquid. Reserve the cooking liquid. Add honey, brown sugar, or maple syrup and continue to reduce to make a glaze. Gently toss the vegetables in the glaze and plate. Pan frying vegetables. Heat the pan. Add the cooking oil in heat. Add the vegetables. Cook until their exteriors are lightly browned and crisp. Blot vegetables on absorbent paper toweling and season and serve immediately. Deep frying vegetables. Coat the vegetables with breading or batter. Heat the oil in a deep fryer and add the vegetables. Fry the vegetables until they are evenly browned or golden. Remove vegetables from the oil and blot them in absorbent paper towels. Adjust the seasoning and serve the vegetables immediately. Grilling is a popular method for cooking vegetables. Some vegetables can be grilled in the raw state, while others must be marinated. To marinate vegetables, soak them in oil and vinegar, herbs, and spices. This gives them added flavor and helps to tenderize them. The vegetable must be able to withstand the grill's intense heat. Some vegetables well suited for grilling are bell peppers, potatoes, zucchini, and onions. Vegetable stews and braises are good ways to retain the vitamins and minerals that are transferred to the cooking liquid. For either method, cook vegetables in the oil or stock and then season them. Add broth or another cooking liquid, then cook the vegetables until tender. In these methods, serve the liquid as part of the dish. Cut stewed vegetables into small pieces, cut braised vegetables into large pieces, or leave them whole. The primary difference between stewing and braising is that braising is done in less liquid, while stewing involves the use of enough liquid to cover the pieces. Grilling vegetables. Heat the grill or broiler. Marinate the vegetables or brush them with oil. Grill or broil until the vegetables are tender and properly cooked through. Season to taste and serve the vegetables immediately. Stewing and braising. Heat the pan, heat the oil or stock, add vegetables and cover with seasonings or aromatics. Add the liquid, bring to a simmer, and cook the vegetables. Add the remaining vegetables and aromatics. Cook the stew or braise until the vegetables are tender. Adjust the seasoning and finish the dish according to the recipe. Serve the vegetables or hold. Sous vide is the method in which food is cooked for a long time, sometimes well over 24 hours. Rather than placing food in slow cookers, the sous vide method uses airtight plastic bags placed in hot water and well below the boiling point. Food is cooked using precisely controlled heating at the temperature at which it should be served. Serve pureed vegetables as individual dishes or use them in other preparations, custards and soufflés. Cook the vegetables until tender enough to puree easily by pushing them through a sieve or a food mill, or using a vertical chopping machine or blender. Some vegetables such as tomatoes, spinach, and cucumbers can be pureed from the raw state. Pureeing vegetables. Cook until tender. Drain and remove excess moisture. Puree the vegetables using a sieve, heavy-duty blender, or an immersion blender. Adjust the seasoning, finish, and serve, or use a secondary preparation. The best way to maintain overall quality is to cook vegetables soon after purchase and then serve them as quickly as possible. If vegetables must be held for a period of time before serving, here are some techniques to maintain their quality. Boiled or steamed vegetables can be refreshed in cold water. Starchy vegetables should be well drained and spread out to dry. Baked or roasted vegetables should be held uncovered in a holding drawer if they are to be served within 4 hours of their preparation. If not, spread them on a sheet pan and cool completely and then wrap them. Braised or stewed vegetables can be held in a steam table. Various methods of reheating vegetables include simmering them in stock or water, microwaving them, sautéing them in butter or cream, or dry sautéing using cooking spray in a pan. Avoid holding vegetables either in the steam tables or directly in water for extended periods of time.